Marshmallow Fanboy back with another video review, this time on two DC Classics figures that I picked up at the comic store today. My local store, TC Rockets, up on Waring Road, carries just a huge assortment of loose figures in some of their cases, and it's a real joy to look through them and spot some of these really cool figures. I've got Green Arrow from, I believe, Classics Wave 9 and Cyborg from Classics Wave 4. When these were originally out, I think that either I wasn't interested in collecting toys at that time, or I just couldn't find them, because I don't remember any of these things in the wild. It could have been that I just wasn't looking back then, but I couldn't pass on Classics Green Arrow or Cyborg, two characters that have their sort of 80s/90s appearance. So I don't have a package to open today, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through some of the things. Cyborg didn't come with his right fist, but it came with sort of the alternate hands. This one and the clamp hand. I don't know if you see that. There we go. And Green Arrow came complete with the arrow that's in his hand and these arrows as well. It's a variety of arrows. He has of course the boxing glove arrow that looks like a grappling arrow. The little T pops out, and maybe it's he can slide down a wire. That's an arrow, and this one might be a fire extinguisher arrow, and the last one, that might be a fire extinguisher arrow, something like that. I don't have the package, but I doubt the package was probably very helpful. The bow itself for Green Arrow doesn't pull back very far. It's pretty molded. The arrow is molded to the bow, so you don't get any torque out of it. So you can't pull it way back or anything. It's molded that way. But it's still cool. That's probably just the way that it was back then. But his hand has where he'd knock the arrow and pull it back. I wish that the bow would pull back more, but it does not. It's molded. Oh, there's a piece of tape on here. It's weird. I did not see that before. His accessories were taped to him, and I thought I got that off of him, but it looks like I did not. So I'm just going to do that on camera. Why not? And I don't know if it's because of age or it was that way all the time, but there's kind of an ombre where it goes light green and then it tapers down to dark green by the time it gets to his butt. It could just be to really sort of contrast his hat is the light green and his trunks are dark green, so it could be to sort of set that off a little bit. But to have all of the arrows, I don't know what the backs of the arrows are called, the butts of the arrows, so cool. It looks so classic, and the arrow, or the feather in his cap just sticking back, it's very cool. Whoever owned this stored it in some place where the feather wouldn't be completely ruinously bent. And the strap is, I guess, not molded to him. There's some freedom. Does the backpack come off, maybe? It doesn't feel like it comes off, but there is some give to this. Let's see, movement. The head, yes. Head up and down. No. That's a no. Let's see, the arms go back, have the ball joint, but not very far. Not very far past there. So not very flexible. Oh, there's a bicep swivel. I wasn't expecting that. Just single elbow, which is not unusual for the time. The hand bends forward and backwards and rotates all the way around. I'm guessing these were better when they came out. I remember people describing them as kind of better than Marvel Legends. Like, and I could see why. They had all the same sort of movement and motion. There's a crunch right below the rib cage and the waist twists. See, single elbow here, not unexpected, and the legs, like the McFarlane figures, they have that joint down there. That's great. The thigh swivel, single jointed there. Let me see. No calf swivel. The legs, or the feet rather, have hinges, and they do sort of go back and forth, but I think that's more because the figure's loose. My figure is loose. Whoever owned it may have played with it, so it is loose. But what I was saying about the Marvel Legends figures was that the Marvel Legends figure had real thin, kind of thin arms and thin features, and it didn't seem like there was anything sort of substantial to it. And the DC heroes were a little bit thicker, a little bit bulkier, if that makes sense. Of course, today's Marvel Legends are comparable to the DC Classics, and they're better because they've made a lot of improvements to the body, but this is really good for, I don't know, this had to be the 2000s somewhere. I just can't remember exactly when in the 2000s these came out, but they had Build-A-Figure pieces. I think one of them was to build Chemo. I'm going to say Chemo. Yeah. Oop, bumped the camera. That was weird. So here's Cyborg. Cyborg has the very classic appearance. It's pre-joining the Justice League back when he was Teen Titans, and Teen Titans ruled the newsstand. Teen Titans was completely outselling everything on the newsstand. I think it was Teen Titans and X-Men were those top two titles, and well earned. So Cyborg, of course, the variant had a kind of a sound cannon, kind of a claw-like sound cannon. So I'm not sure if that was the variant or this is the variant, but I'm going to call this one the variant because I don't know. So let's see, Cyborg, head all the way around. Oh, looks up a little. Very nice. Arms go all the way around, I'm assuming, because there's nothing in the way of it. Let's see, bend him out. And bend him out. And, oh, he has a little trouble bending out, I think. Let me look here. Yeah, one arm doesn't bend all the way back. Oh, it does, okay. Bends all the way back. I just didn't have it right. See, bicep swivel and single elbow has a fist twists, and the fist doesn't move up and down like Green Arrow's does. So no hinge in the wrist or anything. He has a little bit of the crunch underneath the ribs, a lot of crunch. He has a lot of crunch. Let's see, the waist swivels. The belt is molded to him. It's like the belt exists outside of him and was glued on, but the belt is just really solid. It's a really nice piece. The center button, of course, just iconic on a Cyborg figure. Any Cyborg figure sort of, or any version of Cyborg kind of retains that circle on the belt buckle, or puts a circle on him somewhere. So leg hinges, as always, and the thigh swivel sort of hidden by the rings, or by sort of the rings. They appear like rings. Let's see, knee back about or a little farther than 90 degrees, and I got the foot has a nice hinge, but no side to side movement. And that's Cyborg. It's a really solid figure. I should look into getting more of the DC Classics figures. Some of the figures are prohibitively expensive, real expensive. But there are figures that I have from the Mattel the Mattel Multiverse line things like 6-inch Wonder Woman and things like that, that probably would stand really well with these guys. So that's it. The DC Classics figures are really nice figures. If you can get them with tight joints, they're great. But I'm happy with Green Arrow the way he is. Not super happy about that green pin in his arm. It looks kind of awful. I can see now when the Legends team or somebody is talking about the no pin, the pinless arms, why that's an advantage. But yeah, that's it. These are great figures, and sorry, I just tossed them. That was super disrespectful. There we go. So these are great figures, and you should pick them up. So until next time, enjoy your toys.